does, she has a rare situation. You see what I'm saying? Course of adolescence, but then again, course of adolescence, some nerd type cat or some type of brother that's just not used to women, you know. But if he got anything going on, and the reason why he said, well, why don't you talk only half of the nerve? Because I already know the black woman, she hard on a nigga when it comes to doggone picking. She the pickiest shit in this damn society. She can look like shit and want her motherfucking knight in shining armor. Usually, that's not her nature. So if she's been hurt, we can understand that. So it shouldn't matter to a guy if she says she's hurt and he realizes that this is what has happened. You see what I'm saying? This is what has happened. You know, yeah. Another misconception of love I want to put down here before we go. Pretty much, women have gathered together and they have made a good job of understanding men who fall short of certain things because they don't want to get hurt. So it's, you know what I'm saying. But I think this is one that women should know themselves, that it's a victim of Western society. Young women, and I'm not making this assessment based on from a male's point of view. I'm making this assessment from a female's point of view by noticing something about young women, keeping it to myself, and then later on hearing it from older women. But I first was made privy to it by my mother. But I'm glad that I sat back to find out for my own self on the different age groups and find out with a lot of sisters that's in the Jubilee period, which is the 50-year-olds, and some that's in their mid-40s that can understand this because they're looking in retrospect. And that is based on what a lot of women say, is that when they are young, they do not like nice men. They don't like nice guys.
We were like best friends. I believe, you know, he's my soulmate. Everything was fine except he was too nice.
You should have made it have something to do with the society of nice guys finish last. That it could be a Western thing. And I'm quite sure it is, because I mean it is kind of really messed up for you to like a person that don't like you. But I do know this for a fact. I first was made privy to this when my mother, she said, man, you in college? She said, I don't be fucking around going up there and being nice, because a nice motherfucker better get the fuck out of my face. This is my mama, school teacher. And she's saying how she knows what was going on when she was young. You understand what I'm saying? What was going, and I think it's even worse now with the roughneck and the shit that has been produced with the hip hop world. It's probably even worse with girls and the whole gangster shit. But this thing is prevalent enough even in my mother's age, you see what I'm saying, of being a teenager in their fucking 50s. You see what I'm saying? Early 50s or whatever. The point I'm trying to make here is that's one of the misconceptions. Now, the sisters that are now in their 50s are telling me, when I was younger, I didn't like nice guys. But too often, when they figured it out, sometimes it's too late for sisters because we got such a disproportion of men in this society. The ones that's in jail, you see what I'm saying? The ones that's already married, the ones that's gay, and then the ones that's dysfunctional sexually, and some that's bums or some type of thing that you can't even deal nothing with. So the point I'm trying to make here is, a lot of times figure it out, it's too late for a lot of sisters. You see what I'm saying? It's too late for a lot of sisters. So that's a bad misconception, and I'm glad I went back to that question, because that is major. You understand what I'm saying? And they must challenge this idea, or they must challenge this, because the simple fact here is, some of these girls are not, all men are dogs. No, some of these girls, they draw to them these types of things based on what they like. They say think, and it is. Well, they have a certain concept of what they like, and they draw this to them, and a lot of times, it is dog men. There was a guy from your neck of the woods, New York, down in college with me. This brother was a straight up psychopath. He would go to jail every semester for fighting and all this, and it didn't get, okay, when he was a freshman, that's all right. He just coming out of high school. But it didn't get no better each year until they finally threw this nigga out of school and stuff for just raising too much hell. They waited till his senior year and they got his ass and threw him out of school. And I remember the day his father was coming to pick him up, they literally had to pry this girl from his neck. He is one of the biggest psychopaths on the campus of thousands. He was the worst. And I noticed he didn't have no trouble with women. You see what I'm saying? None with women. Then when a woman try to sometimes say, I'm severely damaged, you see what I'm saying? Now on the other hand, she has to look at this psychopath that she has conjured up. Now on the other hand, I have known guys with 4.0s. These motherfucking videos out of this damn table. Build a damn race car out of some fucking fabric. These niggas are now CEOs of corporations now, and the same women are going, why can't I meet a man like that? And they didn't even consider them. You see what I'm saying? When they were young. So this is one that this a vicious cycle. You know, yeah. Very powerful when you like a person who's not like you, which makes a lot of sense. And I think too often that's what happens when they can get with the wrong person also. And be very attracted to it. So there's a metaphysical aspect of the woman being attracted to somebody, you see what I'm saying, that's not like her and stuff. But it's a thin line, you see, with abuse. But it goes back to the same thing. The wrong person could very well be an entrapment of something you think you want, and it's always based on a survey of what you should have. You see what I'm saying? A survey of what you should have, and understanding this type of stuff. So yeah, I think that's a perverted form of love. That's Stockholm syndrome. So in that particular case, that's not really true love, but some of the same principles of opposites attract apply. You understand what I'm saying? Down here, but on the other hand, it's a perverted aspect, because the simple fact here is it's a form of mind control, Stockholm syndrome, where the kidnapped falls in love with the kidnapper, or the battered woman falls in love with the man that is the batterer. You see what I'm saying? It's the same Stockholm syndrome, and I think that's the perverted aspect of it. You see, of it. But on the molecular, on the deep psychological levels, we like sometimes that which is different. And John Henry Clark said, how did we become so fascinated? You see what I'm saying, with white folks? But then again, let's look at contrast. And I think this got something to do with other races. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. We can go to Europe now, and they say that they are fascinated with black folks. American black men and black women. And singers and stuff like that. But I'll give you an American case. There was a high school teacher that was from South Dakota. And he said because there was a black family that moved into the community. And it was the only black family. He said, and they would invite them all to, everybody wanted to invite the black family to dinner. He said they got so bad until they damn near had fights on who was going to invite the black family to dinner because they wasn't used to them, so it became an infatuation. So sometimes the contrast, you see that white skin in a black community, it represents something so different. You see, and although you see it on TV, I'm talking about the contrast of you in a black community, everybody in there black, and you got this white person walking around. And it can either go either way. It can be very strange looking, or it can be fascinating. You see what I'm saying? On the subconscious level. But what he's talking about is based on mind control. We love that which hates us, and that is the Stockholm syndrome, that which has terrorized us. And that's called a pedagogy of the oppressed. The oppressed falls in love with the oppressor because why? He has the mind of the oppressor. So they take the mind. If I hate black folks and I give this black person my mind by wiping his mind out, simply by eliminating his culture, then that black person who receives my mind and hates black people, he will hate black people also because the mind becomes in opposition to the body. And he will also love white people. You understand what I'm saying? He will love white people because he has the white mind. So the oppressed take on the mindset of the oppressor. That's what they say, whoever controls the people controls the mind of the children.
So that form of mind control, that was intentionally done, or you think it's a byproduct, or is it like a psychological byproduct, or did the enemy know they gonna love us more than they love themselves? Or it was like, along with that Christianity teaching.
Remember now, it was a process of learning what to do. Remember now, we were in lab experiments in the breeding forms of slavery. See, a lot of times we misconstrue that we were bred. I don't want to get too far off the subject, but it does have a lot to do with love too, and how we have these misconceptions. Because one of the misconceptions is to give you an example. Let me clear this up first. We have a misconception, and we don't know a lot of time because the act was committed 100, 200, 300 years ago, that we were bred to be the way we were. You see, to be the way we were. Now this is all in line when it comes to black male and female relationship, or male and female relationship, because some of the biggest male chauvinists are women, because they have been given a set of patriarchal ideas. They were bred in them based on the society, and they view women from a patriarchal concept or a male chauvinist concept. You see what I'm saying? And that's why women are the fastest to turn against each other. And why is this? It's still a victim of a patriarchal society because a woman has to have it's based on competition. She's constantly have to compete with the man based on looks, based on this. You see what I'm saying? Based on social aspect, classism, and different things like that. You see? So it all comes together.